What up, everybody? I'm your host, JP, and this is my co-host, Josh.
Hey, everybody.
And welcome back to another episode of the FilmBros podcast. Oh, yeah. Welcome back to another episode of the FilmBros podcast. Yeah. I don't know why I did the voice. I just did the voice.
That must have been mad confusing.
A little confusing. But welcome back, everybody. We got a review for you guys today. Not a full-on review because the whole series is not out yet, but we like to do these little halfers, and then we go ahead and do the full thing at the very end when it comes to TV series, to certain TV series. I don't know. I feel like we do that also because of like the whole. You know, at one point it was the binge method, right? You just put all episodes out, people eat it up, they rewatch it, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Now they kind of reverted back to the whole, let's put it out, drip, basically drip it out one at a time. So it's like
cable.
And it's fun. But I will say in an era like this, it kind of does, I got to say it kind of hurts a little bit because I feel like people forget after a week. Right, like a week's a long time. Am I tripping?
Mm-hmm. I mean, yes, but also no. I think if you're invested, you know what's coming on, and you know there's constant reminders. I mean, the level of marketing that they do, they release like weekly trailers for the next episode now, which I think is kind of. I find it annoying, but I can understand the tactic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to get people to come and watch it, like, oh, it's getting better.
Yeah, remember. This show's coming out.
Yeah.
The next episode that you like is around the corner type shit.
Right. And we've been kind of getting a little bit of spoilers out of this thing too, not only for this season but possibly for season 3 as well. So it's kind of a tough call right now. It's a tough call for this show because I mean, I feel like some people are invested in it for the story and everything like that. Some people are invested in it for what this show could possibly mean in the larger MCU. Possibly in an upcoming movie, Spider-Man Brand New Day, I believe. And then obviously what's going to happen with season 3, because they already are shooting a season 3 for this show. Like all gas, no breaks, basically. Like they were just like, oh, people really love Daredevil, and they put him in basically everything, right? So I kind of said the name, but Josh, if you want to kind of let them know what we're talking about today, and then we'll start jumping in.
We're doing a mid-season review of DareDevil Born Again. 2026.
They showed up at my house with my daughter there.
You hurt?
I'm pissed.
Holy shit. It's Matt Murdock. It's gonna be a bloodbath.
Then this should be tons of fun.
Yes, Born Again Season 2. We did Season 1. We do have our episodes out there for Season 1. If you guys want to check those out, it's out right now. Go check it out. But we are here at Season 2 finally. Literally, I believe it's like a year later, right? Like they really pumped these out kind of quick.
2 years.
About 2 years. I said, they've been really riding on the Daredevil wave. They stuffed them in everything from as soon as they got the rights, basically No Way Home, right? And then we moved to She-Hulk, where, you know, this iteration of Daredevil has been going through different variations, I want to say, through different series. Because even in Echo, his little brief stunt there too, seemed like he was kind of reverting back to form at one point. Because people wanted a more acrobatic Daredevil. I believe that's what the saying was, right? They want him to be more acrobatic. That in the Netflix series he wasn't that much. We got that version in She-Hulk. People were like, I don't know if somebody like that can actually do something like that, right? Like it's a little too crazy. And then we kind of got what we got in Echo, and then now what we have in Daredevil Season 1 and 2. Season 1, they really tried to make him fly and do all that stuff, but the CGI was kind of wonky, so I think they kind of stepped back on that one with Season 2, but I mean, it is what it is. I've been a fan of Daredevil. I'm happy that they're kind of pushing the gas on him, but are they applying too much gas? I don't know. That's something I kind of want to figure out by the end of this mid-season review. But Josh, how do you feel about Daredevil? Obviously, season 2 is out now. We've saw the first 4 episodes. I mean, walking out of season 1 into season 2, and obviously seeing all the Daredevil different types that we've seen in the MCU so far. I mean, how do you feel about walking into this season and whatnot?
I mean, you know me, man. I was a big fan. I'm a huge fucking fan. It took me forever to get on the hype train of the original series, but oh man, I'm such a big fan of what's happening and what's going on. I think I just really enjoy seeing everybody from D'Onofrio to Charlie, and we're gonna be getting like Jessica Jones, and we got the Swordsman, which is just another tie-in to Hawkeye, the show. So I mean, I am very much excited for everything going down right now. I mean, I season 1 was a bit of a rocky start. You know what I mean? Like you could tell they had the rewrites, and like the most hard hitting thing. My favorite thing was when they were Frank and Matt were talking, and then they had to team up, all that stuff. But for the most part, I think I'm enjoying season 2 a lot more.
Okay, yeah, because I mean, like I said, our review's out right now, but season 1 for me was a little rocky, and I mean, you could tell the rewrites and everything were kind of in there. As time went on, more was revealed, and I thought you were gonna say that your favorite episode was the bank heist one, because Lord.
I mean, that one just had good action. I don't really care for it. I enjoyed most of the action in it. That was about it.
One thing that I think about the MCU when I'm watching this show, especially like with season 1, and when we first started taking these dips into like this whole rated R universe with like Echo, and then promoting it like, oh look, we're going crazy with it. We're going crazy. One thing for me was like, is Disney trying too hard, right? Is Disney trying too hard to do something that they've never really done before, and that is make mature content? With season 1, I felt like it tried really hard. With Echo, I felt like they tried really hard. And with Daredevil season 2, it feels like they're a little bit more comfortable. But, I mean, in my head, I kind of feel like there's a little bit of a try hard, how would I say it? A try-hardicity behind there.
Mm-hmm. You got there. Mm-hmm. I'm not too sure. I don't know if I agree with that 100%. There is some stuff in here where you look at it and you're like, okay, yeah, they're trying very hard to be adult, but at the same time, you know what I mean.
That's all I needed to hear. See, you try to make me sound like I'm crazy, but
Well, it just depends on what we're talking about.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying that there is some of that sprinkled. Like the first season, Echo, when they first like tried like going down that route, it felt a little try-hardish, right? Like it just felt like, like why, like just let it happen naturally. You know what I'm saying? And it didn't feel like that. With season 2, I'm not saying it's completely gone away, but it's not as heavy. Like it seems like they kind of are a little more comfortable in their walking, but you could tell, in my opinion, that there's a little bit of that try hardiness still there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah. I just wanted to. And I'll bring up examples as we go through these four episodes and all that stuff. But for the most part, I mean, that's kind of like my initial thoughts, I guess you could say. Let's just start jumping into it and start, breaking down these episodes and talking about the pros, the cons, and everything in between. So, season 2 seems to be certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes with a 95%, and the popcorn meters at a 90%. The whole season is not out, but obviously the critics get to watch a good chunk of the series before obviously the rest of the general audience or general public gets to watch it. But I mean, what do we think about the score so far?
I mean, I agree. I mean, I'm biased. I like it. There is some stuff in it writing wise, like technical wise. I can see them losing out, which is probably why they have 4%. But outside of that, man, I'm kind of fucking with it. I don't know. I think I agree.
I don't know if I could agree with 90s for both.
But why not?
I don't know. I don't feel like it's 90 worthy for it. I mean, I guess more people are kind of excited for it. But like, I feel like this excitement comes from what Daredevil was and what we hope it to be. And I just feel like if you watch the Netflix ones, you're like, either you're really holding on to it to the point where you're like, oh yeah, this is so good because I mean, first of all, Disney's never done anything like this, so they're kind of at least trying to hold it up. Or you've seen it before and you're just like, Disney's trying a little too hard to be something that it technically is not, right? Because I mean, those Netflix shows were under Netflix. They were watched over by Netflix writers, basically pumped it out and agreed like this is good and blah 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 blah. Now Disney has control of it and they have to decide. Now it's cool that they hired some of the Netflix stunt people. I know that was like a thing that we talked about. They hired like their writers. They hired some of they hired back the cast members. That was one thing that was a big thing for a lot of people too. But I mean, just it sometimes feels like it's trying to be something that it's not. Unfortunately,
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think you're a little bit of a hater.
but I mean, kudos for those that really enjoy it. I'm not trying to shit on it, but like I said, these are just our opinions, so it is what it is. Obviously, we have the Daredevil back, Charlie Cox himself,
Right.
and Vincent D'Onofrio as Fisk, Janaea Walton as BB Ulrich. She's obviously Ulrich's daughter from the original Netflix series. Ayelet Zarur as Vanessa Fisk. I'm sorry, the names are kind of crazy. Deborah Ann Dahl as Karen Page. She's back as well. Camila Rodriguez as Angela Del Toro, a.k.a. possibly the White Tiger. Michael Gandolfi as Daniel Blake, and so on and so forth. And like how you said, I mean, we might get Kristen Ritter, or we basically got to confirm. There's pictures and we've seen like behind the scenes stuff when season 2 was being filmed, but Kristen Ritter is supposed to be coming out later on in the season and bring back her Jessica Jones as well. So pretty good cast. I think we both kind of said in the first season when all these people were kind of being introduced and it was like a whole gang of people, it was like, who are these people? And they're still trying to justify those existence, I feel, my opinion.
Well, yeah. I mean, they gotta have a reason to be there. You know what I mean?
But yeah, so cast is back. We know all that. So let's start jumping into these episodes. Josh, if you will, obviously you're going to be the guy to kind of break down these episodes for us. This is what you do. Spoiler alert, obviously. We are going to kind of be talking about this. We do our best, but, it's going to happen. So if you haven't watched the episodes, go watch them, come back, listen to our episode. If not, stick around and we'll let you know if they're worth watching or not. And yeah, all that good stuff. Josh, let's start breaking it down. Okay. So obviously we left off from season 1, right? Season 1 basically left us where?
Oh, season 1 ended and left us off with Fisk as mayor, the vigilantes being outlawed, and the city being corrupt. Oh, we got a nice little task force wearing the Punisher's logo.
ATVF, right, or something like that.
Yeah. Anti-vigilante task force, some shit like that.
AVTF,
Yeah. Right, where that's where season 2 picks up. I think they said that they were underground for like a year or some shit like that. Matt is on the run. Daredevil's on the run. Karen Page is on the run. Fisk and his goons are basically running the streets. The governor in episode 1 shows up, says, "Hey, what you're doing is wrong." That's just the one person.
Bullseye feels betrayed by Fisk.
Oh yeah, Bullseye's betrayed by Fisk.
Mm-hmm.
Well, mostly his wife. His wife hired her, or hired him.
Mm-hmm.
Vanessa hired Bullseye. Bullseye's feeling betrayed. He's also on the run. Vigilantes are outlawed, so that's where everyone's hiding right now.
Yes. So, season 2 is basically picking up from where that left off. Obviously, we saw that there was going to be a bit of a group Avengers type deal, resistance, rebellion, if you will, Star Wars type deal. Season 2, episode 1 started with the Northern Star, right? You want to give us a little rundown of that episode, and we'll start breaking it down a little bit.
Matt Murdock, in an attempt to rid Fisk of his operations, or at least stall them, he drowns a boat. He leaves 2 people alive on accident or on purpose. They go down with the ship. Fisk needs to find them, or Daredevil needs to find them first so they can testify and try and get things back to normal. All while Matt has to lay low. Fisk still has to deal with the governor and people on his payroll and things like that. These two are very much just gearing up to fight each other by the end of the season.
Gotta be honest, not a strong start to this series, unfortunately. I personally, after the ending of season one, and honestly for me, season one not being too amazing, I was hoping that this season two was gonna kind of pick up, like, obviously hit the ground running. It felt like a slow start for what should be, in my opinion, like how you said, a little bit more in the middle of gearing up to fight each other, more middle towards the end, right? Like there's been a couple of weeks, like they've been kind of working at it. They have their teams. I get that. I'm just it just boring build up for something that I felt like we basically had a build up for in the first season.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I disagree, but the way I feel about it is that still in the middle of setting up, and there's that. Not only is there not much to judge, but I don't know. I think the performances are still very much there. I think Charlie and Vincent love that shit.
Charlie Cox is a great Daredevil. Wilson Fisk, Vincent D'Onofrio is Wilson Fisk. I don't think anybody else can really play him in live action as well as he can. At least right now, obviously, he's kind of making the role his own. The same thing with Charlie Cox as Daredevil. That's why we wanted him back. But like I said, I mean, you have the main story, which is the Daredevil versus Fisk. That it's kind of exciting, but then you get to the side things with like the lawyer and her dealing with the boats and the issues that are coming up, and we could care less. Those are things that we don't care about. And the fact that we have like a 45-minute episode and half of it has to be sharing the screen time with them. It's like we don't care. We don't care about those people. That's not the people we care about. And like I said, that's where a little bit of the whole trying to justify their inclusion in the series kind of throws you off, because it's like, okay, we could be hitting the ground running with these characters and really build up their fight and their issues together, and instead we're dealing with a side lawyer who's, what is she doing? I don't know.
She's trying to get swordsman free.
Well, yeah, but I mean, spoiler, I mean, she didn't really do that. So it's why didn't we just cut out the middleman and all that stuff? It just didn't make any sense.
Well, we still have to get courtroom scenes. I mean, those are compelling scenes. I kind of enjoyed those. I mean, we're not exactly there yet, but I enjoy when we're in the courtroom. At any time, Matt is on the run and he can't really do that right now. So it's cool. It's cool to see that we're getting some point of the corruption inside the house. I mean, a place where Matt was really hoping for shit to try and stay neutral. It's clearly, it's tipping sides.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, I enjoy that.
I understand that part. I get that part, but that's what I'm saying is like we're getting that inside information from the courthouse, but it's coming from people that we don't care about.
Well, the show kind of made us care. These are new people. New people we have to care about.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't care though.
I would have enjoyed it. Like, I can understand that. Like, if it was Foggy doing it, you know what I mean? I can understand that. But unfortunately, that's gonna be a gripe that we're just gonna have to live with going through this show.
You know what? That's a great way to put it.
Like a flashback with him.
If they didn't kill Foggy, that could have been the guy, and we would have cared more about him than what we have right now with this lawyer lady.
Yeah. I don't know why they chose to do that. That will forever be a problem I have with this show. And like, even if I wanted to give it a 10, you know what I mean? Like, this could be fucking, you know what I mean? But because I know that Foggy isn't there and they chose to do that out of sheer shock value, when I think probably Karen should have bit the dust. That way we see Frank kind of lose his shit over the last person that he cared for. At the same time, Matt too. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think that friendship should have lasted throughout this whole encounter up until the season, the show's over. So that'll be forever a gripe of mine.
So yeah, I mean that's something. I mean, a good way to put it is that I feel like a lot of this would have been patched up if it was foggy, but instead
Yeah.
we're dealing with people that we like. Quite frankly, we just don't give a shit. I gotta be honest.
I care, but I don't care that much. I
Exactly.
understand.
That's what I mean. It's like you're supposed to care because it's part of the show, but we don't care. Like that whole storyline could be kind of scrapped if it's not the people that we care about. And I mean, like I said, if spoiler alert later on down the road, it's like, well, I mean, was there really any help there to begin with? I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I gotta say, not a super strong start to the season. Kind of lackluster. I'm happy that they showed us the Daredevil like in the first episode, kind of like with the other one. What I don't like, and I mean I kind of let it go for this one, but it's kind of jumped the thing, is that Disney kind of hears what people say and they kind of are doubling down, tripling down. Like that whole thing with the first season, it was really amazing when like they did like that whole his senses, and they kind of zoomed in on him and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And everything spaced out. That was really fun. It only happened one time in that season, right? If I can
Yeah,
think
so
of-
far it's only happened once here.
in the first season it happened once.
No, it happened in this one too, in season 2. I think it was. I
Well,
think
okay,
it was. He was on the
listen
boat.
to listen to what I'm saying to you. The first
Okay.
season it happened one time, right?
Okay.
The second season, it's happened about 3 times already. And I'm like, it was cool and it's a nice treat, and I like that they're kind of spamming it a little bit more, but I'm like, it was a special thing and it's nice and special for like special moments, but I don't think you need to make it a stamp in every single episode that he does just because you're like, oh, the fans really like it. Like, yeah, we like it, but use it sparingly and not so aggressively. And then that's where like I kind of feel like a little bit of the tryhardism is there.
I mean, yeah, I kind of like it. That's the thing. I enjoy it. So anytime I see it, I'm like, all right, that's cool. I mean, that's kind of like if they went a more visual route with it. You know what I mean? They actually did like the sonar looking like radio wave things that he's supposed to have. You know what I mean? Like, if they were to do that constantly, I wouldn't feel like I wouldn't complain about it. You know what I mean? Because those are just his powers. You know what I mean? That's like saying kind of like, well, why does Spider-Man have to have spider sense all the time? You know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those things.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I like it. I see what you're saying, but I like it. So
I mean, it's cool, but like, I mean, Spider-Man doesn't have his spider tingle do every single time. It's not always as vivid, I guess. But I mean, I guess I could let that go. I got more examples or whatever. I want to say, like, is this the episode where like he saves the dude and he kind of gets unmasked, or is that the second episode?
no, I think that is the second. No, wait, no, it is no, wait, it is this one, yeah.
It is this one, right?
Yes.
When he's like saving the dude, he's like tied in the chair.
Yeah, but they don't reveal that stuff. They don't reveal that stuff. They're keeping all that stuff hidden for right now.
What do you mean?
No, like it happens, but they just haven't said anything about it. Like Fisk is the only one that knows for some reason.
No, yeah, but that's when they kind of introduce, and then like he's about to get done in, and then
Bullseye saves him.
yeah, basically, and it basically sets up like, oh, he's helping him out this season instead of trying to completely murder him or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude really got beat up to the point where he's getting unmasked? Like, what's up with that? I was like, this is the first episode and we're already doing that? Like, aren't we, isn't he like seasoned? Doesn't he know? Like, why is this kind of stuff happening just to kind of, I feel like I walked into this kind of a few times watching the first 3 episodes, is that they try to make it a little bit more longer and intense, and then they just kind of like get rid of it, right? Like it was like, oh, it's Matt Murdock, and then they got rid of it really fast, and it was just to give you like a brief little like, oh, they're unmasking him, there's some kind of tension or whatever, and it goes away just to lead up to the actual plot and storyline, which is kind of like bogus and cheap for me.
Yes, I can understand that because that was kind of like a oh shit kind of moment. But to be fair, Fisk already knows who he is. You know what I mean? So if they go with that information, what is Fisk really gonna tell him? You know what I mean? Just be like, shut up, don't say anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So is there really any stakes? Is my thing, right?
No, no, because we know Matt. We know he knows it's Matt. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's like
The
who
show
cares?
is just has to. The show
Has to be dramatic.
a little bit. And I mean, that's just easy stuff, easy setup for Bullseye to come in and show that he owed him one. You know what I mean, basically.
A little try hard, if you ask me.
Well, I mean, your show has to set stuff up, man.
I mean,
that's the
yeah,
thing.
man, yeah, he has to set stuff up, but not like
Your character,
I'm not gonna be like,
Red.
oh, is it gonna go this way? It might, and yeah, it did. It's like, okay, I'm just making my point that the first episode just it did those kinds of things, and I was already like, okay, we're in for it, right? I gotta be completely honest and kind of a little spoilery too, but like the first 3 episodes just didn't really do anything for me, like at all. Like nothing really hyped up until like the 4th episode. And that's just me being like real. But
okay, but we still got 2 more episodes before we get there, so we gotta, you know what I
Yeah.
mean. Your complaints,
But
I'll
I mean,
hear 'em out,
do we have any
but-
more for episode 1 then, or?
no, I kind of enjoyed episode 1.
Oh, okay. Well, I kind of thought it was a little boring, a little whack
Okay.
for
Okay.
beginning of a season 2. I got to be honest. Season 2, episode 2, Shoot the Moon. Josh?
Fisk tries to lure out Matt and Karen by announcing that if they bring in Matt Murdock, there's an award for him or something
Because
like
he's
that.
a hero.
Yeah, he's the real hero who saved him from season 1 from Bullseye. So he's trying to knock 2 birds with 1 stone. I mean, obviously, if he gets Matt, he gets Daredevil. He just wants him in his hands. While they're trying to do that and work underground, this is the subplot we were talking about where his lawyer friend tries to help Swordsman, the same Swordsman we saw in Hawkeye.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the whole episode. They get ambushed. It doesn't work out in their favor. He gets thrown in what is essentially the same cage prison type of thing that Frank was thrown in the first season before escaping. So that's their plan. They try to. This is the one where he gets caught up, and they set up a plan to get him out next episode.
Yeah, this episode was boring as shit. I really didn't care for it at all whatsoever.
Oh my goodness. I wouldn't say it was boring. It did have a lot of stuff like setting up wise. I mean, we know that the dude, we know Fisk's like secondhand guy right now is shady as fuck. Like he clearly has his own motive. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The lawyer stuff. I kind of like the swordsman actor, so I don't mind him whenever he's on screen.
I don't mind him either, but I mean,
He was in
Hawkeye.
Better Call- that actor.
He was in Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
Mm.
He plays a character named Laszlo, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Cool character. I think he's a great actor. I like him. Anytime
Okay.
he's on screen, I'm like, all right, cool. The lawyer stuff, it's not as good. Like I said, I have my gripes. If it was Foggy doing it and being like, fuck, the system sucks right now, I'd be a lot more inclined to be like, I like it, but I don't, like you said, we're trying to care about this character, but I don't care about this character, and that's just because they haven't made it happen.
Mm-hmm. Like, there's more interactions between her and Karen Page in this episode too.
Yeah.
And like they try to make it be like, oh, you know, she's basically gonna be like that the mole to basically help her out and all that stuff, and to help out the resistance. But she's still kind of like, what is it, reluctant to be a part of it and all that stuff because she doesn't want to be a part and blah 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 blah. But I mean,
not as much. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But I mean, I just think it just makes it a little bit harder. Instead of her just kind of going along, like, don't make her reluctant at this point. Like, if she's fighting their same fight, why wouldn't they just work together?
Yeah, basically. There's not much Cherry Detective, that guy. Like, what happened to him? He got pressed one time and that was it?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we're also getting side character shit happening to Hector's niece.
Daughter? Oh.
Yeah. Right? Daughter. No,
I
niece.
think it was the daughter, right?
No, it's his niece.
Oh, okay.
Where she's gonna end up becoming the White Tiger, I'm assuming, but she's also in this weird age range where she's too young to put on a suit, so she's just gonna be doing shit for
Little
them.
things here and there. She'll probably get this like a suit of her own, probably in the last episode or something.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I think that's the thing. If she was a teenager, like if she was like,
is she not?
Peter Parker? No, dude. She looks like she's like 13. Like,
There's
there's
like
no
13
way.
or 14. That's like teenage years. It's because they're
Yeah,
doing
but
like
I'm
a Young
talking-
Avengers type thing, right?
Well, yeah, but I'm talking like 15, 16, where she can actually like put on a suit. Not, I don't know. I think seeing it's not seeing the White Tiger, but seeing a white kitten. You know what I mean? Like
right.
that's
Okay, I get you. Right.
So we're also getting shit like that. Like I said, if the weaker of the season for sure, I'll give it to this one for now. But what I say was completely boring. No, I'm still interested.
They had
in what's
like the
happening.
fight scenes or whatever. I mean, I don't know if this is the one where like the apartment or whatever.
No, that's the next one.
Yeah, that's the next one. But I mean, the little bit of fight scenes that we get is cool. But I mean, for the most part, it seems like they could have done it with a character we actually cared about, and they just didn't. Like I said, they're trying to shovel down this character to like force feed us and be like, "Oh, you guys like her," and I'm like, not too much, not really. I don't think I do.
She won't be Foggy,
right? Again, maybe that's just something that's always gonna bite them in the ass for doing something like that. But I mean, who knows? Maybe in Secret Wars they get a multiversal Foggy. Who knows? Maybe that happens.
That's crazy. I hope we get it. I mean, hopefully that reset does bring him back, or unless they use it as a whole thing to like wipe them clean and we get a younger cast. In which case, do we really want to see a different actor do the Fisk stuff again? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Knowing that we've got great performances. Like that's the thing. No matter how you shake it, you get great performances from Charlie, Vincent, the dude that plays Bullseye, William Bethel. Like,
but you gotta be honest. It's not the writing that we got before, though.
I mean, dude, that's the thing. Like, I know, but I still enjoy it. You can't compare everything to a Netflix show. I'm sorry. If that's where we're at, the Defenders, everything that we're getting, we're rumored to be getting. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be the same.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is that like there's a bar, and they're obviously trying to recreate that bar, and if you're not gonna do it right, then do it your way, right? It's like you can't be a knockoff. You have to be your own thing, and if you're a knockoff, it makes it harder for people to accept it. I feel
you're still seeing them do their best, but you can very much see the Disney underneath the mask, basically, because they're still scared to like make things dramatic. Everything needs a light joke or a smile at the end of it or whatever, and you can tell Charlie and Vincent, being the producers that they are, is like doing their best to hinder that, but something else is telling them that okay, they're right. We do need a little joke. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I gotta say, a little bit boring for this episode. But I mean, well, let's see if it picks up by episode 3. The Scales and the Sword. Josh.
All right. Like I said, Swordsman got thrown in jail. Matt goes to break him out. There's a cool little fight scene with the cops and him. They break him out of prison. They take him back to his apartment. They start getting testimonies from everybody about what it was like to be locked up in Fisk's little camp. This is that fight scene again where they break in. They have to end up escape again. Leads everything up to episode 4.
They got an AVTF man on the inside now.
Oh yeah, they got their own little worm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
or mole. They got their own little mole.
This one kind of picked it up a little bit, but still a little bit on the boring side for me. I was like I said, I mean, this whole cage stuff, I understand, but I feel like it would have been a little bit more compelling too if we had Frank Castle kind of in the inside helping them out too, not necessarily this lawyer lady. Which, I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, she goes and helps, but doesn't really help, but like kind of helps. I was just more like, I mean, I get the whole, I'm like, oh, that's pretty neat. She kind of walked in and she used her ears and everything and blah, blah, blah. And that's how like Daredevil was able to do it. But I'm like, she still did basically nothing. She walked in there, talked. And I mean, her big useful thing at the end of the episode is that she was able to hear sounds. I mean, he could have easily just broke in. That's just
right.
My thing. Like, it could have done the same thing without her.
I understand. But I kind of enjoyed everything else. That's the thing. That her character, if you replace Foggy, it works 10 times better. But we're living without him for now.
Am I tripping, or I mean, is Daredevil's suit slowly getting the black off?
Yeah, it's clearly like painted on, so it's slowly like taking off. It's kind of, I guess they're going that whole route where like it'll come off on the end, and it'll reveal its true colors, and it's like supposed to be this triumphant moment, I think.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking the road was going down to too, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty neat. I like seeing the red kind of show every so often. So
yeah, I think when we get to that whole scene where like everybody's like wearing the similar like mask and like red and all that stuff, is when we'll see him in his full red again. Because it's like, oh, coming out of the shadows, I'm the hero that's turning the city against Fisk, all that stuff. It's supposed to be a triumphant moment, I promise.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
But yeah, no, I like this episode. I mean, like, I enjoy it because, I mean, it's the payoff to the second episode. That's about it.
It's basically what it is. I mean, it's cool. It bridges that gap, but at the end of it, I was like, eh. No wonder they needed to put them out both at the same time, because it was just going to be...
You'd be boring as fuck without the second half.
Basically. And, I mean, it was kind of boring as fuck. But it's just, putting it together does make it a little bit better. But at the end of the day, you're still trying to shovel this character that we don't care for. We could have probably shortened this episode up, because they could have probably went through it a little bit quicker. But like I said, Disney does this thing where they want to, like, give you this dramatic effect, and they make the process longer than what it needs to be. And it's like, that's not... You making the process longer than it needs to be just because, a couple things are in the way, when you can easily remove those and just be like, okay, we'll do it this way.
Yeah.
It doesn't make dramatic stuff. It just makes us be like, oh. Kind of like the Obi-Wan Kenobi episode where, like, he like walks around the gate when he could have easily, like, jumped over it or something.
Yeah.
Went underneath it.
Right.
But yeah, I guess that's where basically we have to leave it. If you put episode 2 and 3 together, it makes a decent episode, but still not the best episode of the series.
Yeah, episode 3 just basically pays it all off from episode 2. So you're probably right. That's probably why they did it, because season 2 is all set up. Season 3 is all the payoff. They could have made. I think they could have cut the middleman out. Like, oh yeah, he's caught, and let's go save him, all that stuff. But there was a lot of action in between that I don't think we would have appreciated. I mean, without it. So
good, decent action, like that bar scene where he's like sliding on the floor was pretty cool. But like, you're not gonna tell me. I think that's an issue that I'm having with this one, is the whole like the power with like that Daredevil has, because like he'll get beat up in some scenes, but then he'll completely demolish people in the next scene. Like there was a scene where they were like coming out of the place and they were like shooting at him, and I'm like, why don't they just move up? And they wait until the truck comes in, and then they open the back and wait until people start scurrying in there, and then they finally say, okay, move up. And then they completely get demolished in like seconds. And I mean, Karen takes a shot off on one of them too, but I'm like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like they could have nabbed every single one of those people.
Yeah, but the point is they gotta get away. And
I
maybe
get
they
that,
want
but like you can't
they
make it
probably didn't
so
want to
easy
shoot
and be like,
back.
oh no, it's actually pretty tough.
Maybe it's easier to hold them in a prison, you know what I mean, versus kill all of them, because then you have to explain where they went once
Well,
the reign's over.
I understand that, but I mean, they literally had them dead to rights, and they just kind of let them go. I'm like, okay, well that's
Okay.
fine. I just gotta. There's just so much stuff where it's like it just gets in its own way, and it's like, why'd you do that for? But that leads me to what I gotta say is probably my favorite episode of the season so far. So I mean, episode 4, gloves off. Great opening for this episode. I loved it.
Right. This whole episode's about Bullseye, his routine, what he's doing while Matt and them are scrambling around the city, trying to make things right. And Fisk gets in a boxing match, and it leaves us off with a pretty nice little cliffhanger. Yes,
The boxing match that was announced basically in the first episode, and we had to sit through like 2 episodes before we got to that.
Yes. Time happens. Boxing matches take time. Okay, he was training. I like this episode. I think you're right. I think this is probably the best one so far. I think we need more Bullseye. I like. I really hope this isn't some shit where we're only gonna get him for this and then he's gonna be on the run. You know what I mean? I need these three to have their same cage match type of thing that they had in Netflix's last episode. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what I'm hoping for. Like when the scales are all up and the tension's all high, get these three because we get the scene where Matt beats on him. We get the scene where Fisk something happens, and we gotta sit with that up until as time of recording today. So it's gonna be nice to see that little payoff that we're gonna get. Try not to spoil it. You know what I mean? But I am glad we got this episode because I think that whole the transitioning between Daredevil and Bullseye with the colors, I love that shit so much.
Yeah. I really liked the beginning. Like I said, I enjoyed seeing the routine and him kind of like destroying Fisk's AVTF like in his own way, like doing his own vigilante work in his own little sick way. Because even like the guy, he was like, "Don't hurt me." He's like, "Hey, I'm the good guy." It's like, oh, you think so, huh? So I think that's cool. Like everything of this episode, like the build up to the fight, the stakes are actually back from what they were basically trying to set up in the first episode. That's what I'm saying. Like the first episode was trying to set up the boxing match and everything that's basically happening, and then they took kind of like a detour with episode 2 and 3. So I kind of felt like yeah, it's on the pathway to where we need to go, but it's not something that, in my opinion, did it need to be urgently met like that? And I mean, if it did we have to use some lawyer that we don't know to to basically do it? I don't know. And then we get to episode 4 and it's like back on track. Like you're back where like you basically left off with episode 1, and you're like I said, Bullseye doing his thing, basically saying like I'm gonna stop at nothing to do what Daredevil basically can't do, and that's to basically finish the job altogether. I love that shit. I love it 100%. The tension's there. D'Onofrio gets to play the villain that he needs to play. Bullseye. Matt gets to be the hero that he needs to be, and none of that like fake. Oh, we need to kind of like put some kind of obstacles in the way. Like no, these people are actually they're hard to beat each other, right? Like when he walked up on him in his apartment, and like he thought he had the drop on him, and he just threw a disc, and Matt was like scrambling. Okay, cool. Like that's the tension that we need, right? We need somebody on par with Matt Murdock. If not, we get bored because he's fighting low-level thugs for what? Like, yeah, it's cool to see him beat up those bad guys to kind of get like, oh yeah, he still does little crimes on the side or whatever, but he's still eye on the prize when it comes to like the big stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's clearly like he beats him up. We get there and it's alarming, and then he gets his ass whooped, and you're like, really? And then he actually can go, you see him go hand to hand with Bullseye, beat his ass actually. And the only reason he gets away is because he cheap shots, a hostage. Mm-hmm. So, like those things make the scaling a little weird, but at the same time, it's like, if I guess for me, it's like if we get to where we need to get to, I don't care how bumpy the ride is. You know what I mean?
Well, no, I mean, obviously the ride has to be bumpy, but it has to match the what we're putting in front of it, right? Like you can't.
CJ was talking to me about um the bullseye scene, the big diner scene where he was like throwing stuff, and she was like, "I don't know how his powers work," and I was like, "What do you mean? He just has like really good aim. If he throws something and it ricochets, you know what I mean? Then that's just him using
What
like
where he wants to throw it, it's gonna basically nail.
yeah. So if he throws at a wall and it bounces and it hits someone in the face, like yeah, it looks a little cartoony. You know what I mean? The CGI hasn't been perfected in that aspect yet, but that's essentially what I was trying to tell her. I was like, his powers are cool. I do like that he can just do that shit, but it does look a little funny sometimes. So
Hmm. Yeah. And I mean that's basically gonna come at the end here when we talk about like the little things and all that stuff. But I mean, for the most part, I can understand that. But it's I think every comic book thing is cartoony. I mean, how is Daredevil able to flip so much, and how is Black Widow able to survive a fall from so high up and all that stuff? You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's just it comes with the territory. But I mean, I do think it does look cool, and sometimes it's like, yeah, I mean, did he even think he was gonna hit that? It's funny as hell. Um, so we can agree the fourth episode is probably like the best episode
yeah,
so
the
far.
best so far. Yeah,
I like the fight. D'Onofrio going crazy, the blood and everything like that. It feels great, and everything felt like all the setup felt natural. It didn't feel weird. Like that's I feel like that's when it's rocking on all cylinders. Is when they're actually trying to move the story forward, and unfortunately, that might be a Disney Plus problem that they're still having. Is like stretching out these episodes and trying to make a whole
yeah,
8 episode season instead of thinking about the story and where it's supposed to go. They try to think about it, and then they're like, well, what can we do to stretch it out a little bit more? And it's like, we don't need stretching out. What we need is pause. What we need is like, a good story, a nice, clean, tight story that makes sense as it goes down the road. If it's not meant to be a show, then just make it into a movie and call it a day.
yeah, yeah. I understand what you're saying.
But yeah, I guess off the rip, let's just talk about the fight scenes in every single episode really quick. Whatever one stood out to you, you can bring it up or whatever. But I do like the fight scenes. I like how I really like the fight scenes in the first season too. Obviously, the CGI is one of the problems, and I mean, Disney Plus and Marvel in general has been having a CGI problem. So, but I do think the fight scenes are pretty good. I don't like the blood because it's CGI blood and it looks fake, and kind of like the bullseye scene and stuff like that. It's like we get that he's using a spatula and everything, but it's like we couldn't have used an actual prop and do a little bit of blood around it and CGI it around and all that stuff. Everything just kind of looks fake when everything happens when it comes down to the fighting. I'm happy they reduced the whole flying and swinging and all that stuff because that was just an eyesore. So that's pretty nice that they did this season. But for the most part, the fighting's there. I like the hand-to-hand stuff. It's just more like when he uses his powers, like his staff
Yeah.
and like, the jumping and the blood and all that.
Yeah, I mean, I've never really had an issue with it. I think the worst one, like at its worst, it's probably the in season one. You know what I mean? The first episode.
Mm-hmm.
At best, dude, that diner scene, the apartment scene, that was only like 5 minutes, and that shit was probably like a good highlight for all of season two. You know what I mean? I did like that prison escape scene with him and Swordsman. Like I said, anytime he's on screen, I'm just gonna glaze. It's okay.
I did
I
like
thought that shit was great.
I did like the fourth episode when like he was trying to like separate Fisk and Bullseye and all that stuff, and he kind of like does this like jumping move, jumps off the side and pulls not only him but Bullseye outside the window, and they crash out. That was a pretty genius shit to
Yeah.
kind of like put on paper and shit like that. So that was pretty
I,
nice.
yeah, I am with you there though on the on that and on the fact that they reduced like the swinging and the super acrobatic stuff because like I mean it looked bad in She-Hulk and it did look bad in season one and I know that's what people want, But on a movie scale, I can get behind it. But on a Disney Plus show where that shit's limited, don't just stick to what we know. You know what I mean?
Why would it be limited when Disney has like tons of money and it's like you can
Yeah, but there's
polish it,
show money, and then there's movie money, and that's just where we're at.
yeah. We're way, 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 ways away from like the early 2000s though, because you couldn't get no CGI budget for a fucking TV show. Like it'd be rare. Like you'd get, what's that one show? Smallville.
Smallville's bad. I always praise the
Good
Flash
story, though.
because up until a certain point,
I
it
think-
looked good for TV.
Mm-hmm. I think they say like the third season, right?
Fourth season, I give it up to the fourth season. Because once you get to the Thinker, he does some brain shit, and you're just like, this is dumb. But so 1 through 3, where they're doing like speedster stuff, that shit looks pretty solid, like for TV. You know what I mean? So, like, there is no excuse because we're on a platform and Disney, but Disney will tell you there's streaming money, and then there's movie money, and then there's movie money straight for TV, and you just look at them like, what the fuck are you talking about? That should all be the same.
I will, if we're in agreement with the fight scenes and stuff like that, I will say the cinematography has gotten a lot better with this show, though.
I agree.
I like I know like some people are like, oh, where's the color and all that stuff, but I feel like you can, like, everything pops and it has the right atmosphere and tone for the show. And on top of that, I do like the camera work that's been kind of done in these episodes, I would say start with episode 4 when Bullseye is like walking into the diner, that little like eeriness where like things seem normal but like the camera view is like sideways to let you know like it's kind of warped at the same time. The couple one shot scenes when you do get the fighting and all that stuff, even though it is a little wonky because it does look CGI when he's fighting and doing flips and it's like kind of like a one shot and not edited, but I do like the attempt, and I do think they do a good job with the camera.
I agree. That's the thing. I think all the gripes boil down to no Foggy and some of the writing. Even at the worst end where you're like, this is boring, I can agree that even though I don't find it boring, it is very much just like, can we get on with the setup, please? We know what's gonna happen. They're gonna break them out. They're gonna stop fists. They're gonna, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There just has to be a more entertaining way to get your point across.
Yeah. Use characters that we actually give a shit about.
Foggy, come back, please.
I mean, Foggy. They could have brought in. Jessica Jones a little bit sooner to kind of help him out with all this kind of stuff. They could have even. I understand. Well, I mean, it's supposed to be connected to the grander MCU, right? So why not bring in like a one of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or something inside of this show or something, right? Or like somebody from the movies, like bring them into the show. Like, why wouldn't you do something like that?
Yeah, you would think. I mean, now they're starting to utilize those people. You know what I mean? And like, it's becoming news that there is going to be a Defenders type of reunion. We should have seen them sooner.
If not sooner, I mean, like I said, there's so many toys to pull from the toy box. There's no point in like not. I mean, Florence Pugh literally was in Hawkeye. Like, why not just bring her back for an episode of one of these and like help him out or something like that?
Right.
I mean, it'll make things a little bit easier. I mean, like I said, if they even had, like, where did Frank go? Where's Frank?
Into Spider-Man. He went right into Spider-Man.
He fucking escaped and helped nobody? What the hell?
Yeah, man. He went right into his own fucking...
Like, I feel like the 2 and 3 could have probably been resolved if Frank was around there.
Probably, yeah. That's the thing. I don't want to... I hope next season we do get him back because I don't want this thing where, like, he's off... He's on again. He's off. He's on again. Like, I want to see everybody clash. That's the thing.
Yeah, and like I said, I know that they have other projects, but like, we gotta. Come on, you couldn't even like pan to the cages and then just like off camera, you just hear him go, "Oh!" Like, yeah, he's in the cage, all right. He's still there. He's still there. Wait. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Some shit like that, man.
Like, he just up and disappeared. Where did he go? I swear I did not hear not one line saying like, "Where did Frank Castle go?"
Yeah, no, they haven't addressed him, which is unfortunate.
It's like, "Oh, Jin, I don't know where he is. I don't know."
What contract is be?
What do you mean he's not allowed to work with anybody else until Brand New Day comes out or some shit like that? I don't know.
You're telling me he gets to meet Spider-Man?
Like, I mean, he was already doing his special too. You telling me you couldn't just move him from his set and just bring him into a couple episodes of this one and be like, "Oh, now I gotta go help this other dude in a red suit. I got places to be. Wink, wink." And then just
apparently not. Not when you're writing, directing, and producing it. I guess not. Oh, and starring.
Well, Josh, I think we kind of chalked it up. Pros, obviously, actors. D'Onofrio, Charlie Cox,
Right.
Anna Dahl, what her full name I forget, Karen Page. Like, they're obviously awesome. Writing kind of is not up to par, unfortunately. The camera work is great. We do like some of the action scenes that are happening. CGI needs a little bit of cleaning up. It seems like according to what we're saying, I mean, obviously your rating is going to be your rating when it comes down time to it. So for at least this half of the season so far, but I think we can kind of agree, like, the show's kind of mid.
So far, I give it. I mean, if we're like doing numbers, I'm chilling at a good 7. So
A good 7, like where the show is sitting right now.
yeah.
I got to give it like a solid 6.
See, I thought so, but then episode 4 really tips the scales for me, and I don't know if that's unfair or.
One episode out of 4
I'm down.
is crazy.
I like the first one. No, I like the first one. You didn't like the first one.
The first one's decent, but like I said,
no,
it's slow. It's a slow walk for something that's supposed to be high pace and high tension off rip.
I think you're a hater. I'm just kidding. I don't know, dude. I don't know. That's the thing. You see it as 1 out of 4. I see it as like 3.5 out of 4. Yeah.
You're not gonna sit here with a straight face and tell me episodes 2 and 3 wowed you, my boy. You're not gonna be like, "Oh my god!" Like, "Oh my god!" Like, I'm gonna rewatch this season just for those 2 episodes alone.
No, I liked 4. I liked 1, and the half is basically.
I believed you when you said 2. If you would have said 2 out of 4, I would have believed you.
No, because I mean, if I count it as half because it's paying off episode 2, so it's like 3.5.
2.5.
No, 2.5. That's right. My bad. 2.5.
No, I can't agree with you on that one. But I mean, different strokes for different folks. That's for sure. I gotta tell you, man. Like, I don't know what you're watching, but it's not the same show as me. If you really enjoyed those things, I gotta be honest. We don't care about those characters. These episode 1, like I said, it wasn't terrible. I'm not saying episode because it still was managed to draw me in. It took me a second to get through 2 and 3. I gotta be honest. It took me a good minute. I had to like pause and be like, "What am I even watching?" It just doesn't feel like, yeah, there's Daredevil in there. It just doesn't feel like that kind of show. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I just think I think that they got to do a little bit. I think they got to do a little bit more when it comes down to what the fans want to see. Like, I understand that, like I said, this thing where it's like, I said this in the first review that we did with the first season. It's, you wanted to bring new people in, and yeah, obviously when you bring in an old show, you have that burden of like giving some people something new while also staying true to like the old stuff, because people are gonna freak out if it's too different, right?
Right.
They've already burdened themselves with this, and they're them trying to double down, triple down on these extra actors that nobody cares for and can't seem to give you a good reason to even stick them around. At that point, you just get rid of them.
Yeah. That's the thing. You're gonna win me on that just because I agree. I don't care for the lawyer actress because I think it should be somebody else.
I appreciate the win. I appreciate the win. But yes, we're still gonna watch. I think there's still a lot of good potential, and hopefully by season 3 we really cut off the extra fat. But I do gotta say, slow start for a season 2. It takes, for me at least, it took till the 4th episode for me to really like get into it. So I'm a little excited for what happens next. I can be honest and say after the first one I was like, eh. Second one, for sure, I was not excited. I was like, man, if there's more of this in the next episode, lo and behold, there was more, and there was more, and then yeah, here we are now. Josh, anything you want to see by the end of this season? Anything you're excited for?
I'm hoping we get some kind of cameo thing of defenders. That and I mean, I'm hoping everything gets tied with a nice little bow, as something should. You know what I mean?
The lack of excitement for
I,
what's to come at the end of this season is.
well, I'm
Yeah.
hoping we get something good. I don't know what it could be. I'm just assuming that I all I really expect is that this show ties itself up nicely. That's it. Because for some reason that's a hard ask nowadays. No, for like, I expect my show or movie to set something up and then have a resolve. You know what I mean by the end of it.
Mm. I hope we get to see a glimpse of the defenders though. That's something the same. I'm on the same boat with you. I hope we get to see like. Obviously, I don't want like a. What is it, like a Shazam thing where like all you see is their like chest down and not really like their face, and it's like yeah, we're building a team, and it's like doom is them, is like you don't see their faces. I want to see
Oh my
like
gosh.
it'd be cool to be like, oh, we're getting the defenders back together or whatever, blah blah blah, and like you kind of see him like calling Danny Rand or something, or you see like a letter from Luke Cage. I don't know, something cool that teases it up in a great way. Like I hope, just because we know that they're gonna be in there, especially with like the leaks and stuff, I hope they don't just like, oh yeah, you guys already know, who cares or whatever. I hope it's like a really
Yeah.
big reveal.
I hope it's a good reveal. I really hope that the fight between the three of them happens again and it's fucking brutal. That's it.
I'm hoping Bullseye doesn't bite the dust either.
Oh, me neither.
I feel like he has the potential to be like a really like long arching villain, but I don't want him to have a redemption arc either.
Yeah, he's gonna have to stay. I mean, I think he kind of not. I agree. He's already a villain to Daredevil, but the fact I think these two could have a really nice like what him and Frank have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can get behind that at most.
Okay. Okay. But let us know what you guys think. Check out the episodes. Episodes 1 through 4 are out right now. At the time of recording, I believe 5 is coming out tonight. So by the time you guys hear this, episode 5 should be out. Check those out. Let us know what you guys think. Pros and cons of these episodes. And, are you guys going to be watching till the very end, or are you guys tapped out? Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see where this kind of goes. Josh, let them know where they can tell us about any movies they want us to review, TV shows. They want to hear the voice of one of these episodes. Josh, go ahead.
Twitter, TikTok, Instagram at FilmBros Podcast. Post our episodes right. We can hit us up there for news and movies we want us to cover. Buzzsprout link in the source I just gave you. It's like a Patreon. You subscribe. You help the show grow. We greatly appreciate it. Listen to us anywhere you get your podcast at FilmBros Podcast. Spotify, Music, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you get your podcast. Be part of the conversation. Twitch at FilmBros Podcast. And we'll all send us. Subscribe to our YouTube at FilmBros Podcast.
And with that being said, we'll talk to you guys on the next one.
Talk to you guys later.